I've been learning that God grows us in the softest ways, long before we even notice that it's happening. Recently, I've discovered that I don't need to feel the responsibility to teach everything when I'm still learning myself. I think I put that weight on my own shoulders, honestly, and no one asked me to. I've realized that we can learn through very, very light-hearted things, like a simple lunch with a friend. And honestly, I'm starting to think that he uses relationships around us the most. I've really had this intense desire to just live without performance, live without worrying about saying the wrong thing, do small tasks that bring me joy without pressure. I needed that, and I still need that. And I think the Lord was reminding me growth doesn't always look like a big revelation or a big moment. Sometimes it's just a gentle shift in your heart. Sometimes it's choosing to breathe before reacting. Sometimes it's choosing to be present instead of productive. Sometimes it's letting yourself enjoy something without turning it into content or a lesson or a project. And I think that's part of why my style has been changing too. Not just the clothes I wear, but the way that I carry myself, the way I want my home to feel, the way I want my days to move. I've been craving things that just feel softer, more intentional, more grown. And it's not because I'm trying to impress anyone, but because this season has been reshaping me from the inside out. And I'm realizing that the outside really does follow the heart. I think God has been gently leading me toward things that reflect peace in my home, in my routines, even in the way that I dress. Not perfection, not performance, just a quieter, steadier version of myself. And it's a version that feels more aligned with who he's forming me into. And lately, I've been trying to bring that gentleness into the way that I live. Almost like a softer kind of gardening. Not just in my actual garden, but in the way that I speak, the way that I respond, the way that I care for the people around me. I don't have to be so heavy or hard on others. I've been so interested and passionate about harvesting that I have forgot about gardening. I forgot that seeds have to be planted first. And now I feel like I know I can choose to tend to those things slowly, patiently, and with a softer hand. And I've got to be honest that even though all this work is going on in my heart, I still forget sometimes that when I lose my peace or something doesn't feel right, that I can go directly to God. I'm still learning to lean into the privilege of being his daughter, to rest in that instead of trying to figure everything out on my own. And I've been guilty of that more than I would really like to admit. I feel myself maturing so quickly in this season, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And part of that growth has been realizing that I don't have to conform or copy anyone else or their journey. I can just fully be myself, as cliche as that sounds. I'm allowed to have fun. I'm allowed to honor the talents that God has given me. And I'm allowed to create from a place of joy instead of pressure. I think the way the internet is, we are constantly trying to find new and more information. But growth can be so much more than obtaining the big and obvious intellectual moment. It can be little shifts and tiny, tiny, tiny learning moments throughout the day that bring joy and gratitude. That might literally be just putting a photo in a little frame and seeing the blessing in that, reliving that moment that God gave me and how precious it was and still is. And I think we are so busy sometimes that we lose sight of those itty bitty things. It can be taking my time instead of rushing through the ABCs with my 3-year-old. It can be remembering to pray for my husband as he walks out the door because I'm not too overwhelmed or busy to do that. It can be choosing to sit on the floor and play instead of folding laundry right away. It can be letting myself rest without feeling guilty. Growth is not knowing everything. I think it's really about embracing the things you love and then letting God teach you, guide you along the way. I think it's about creating and having fun. And I think that God delights when we're just content and trusting Him to work out all of the details. I've been learning to appreciate the slowness, and not in a way that I've really ever appreciated before. The quiet mornings where the house is still, the afternoons where the sun hits the kitchen just right, the moments where I catch myself smiling at something simple. Those are moments that I used to rush past, and now I'm trying to let them linger. I'm trying to smile more as I walk behind my kids, climbing up the porch stairs, and just take a moment to say, "Thank you, Lord." These little shifts, these little moments of awareness have made me a lot calmer. And I'm letting go of habits that just don't serve me in this season anymore. I'm truly thankful for this season of quiet growth. It's funny how, in just a few months, small changes can make your home and your heart so much lighter. I've also realized that God doesn't just speak in the big, dramatic moments, He works in the quiet ones just as much, maybe even more. And I want all the small, mundane, quiet things I do for joy to reflect how God is growing me. I want my life to show that you don't have to be loud to be led. You don't have to be busy to be purposeful. And you definitely don't have to have everything figured out in order to be faithful. I am learning to let my days be simple, let them be fun, let my home be peaceful, and my heart be open to whatever God is shaping in me next. And I hope that you find that same gentleness in your own season.